Alright guys, in today's video we're going to talk about RPE or rate of perceived exertion, what it is and how to use it in your own training programs to get a lot stronger. So without further ado, let's dive into this video. So RPE is, like I said, rate of perceived exertion, and it's just a way to ensure the right intensity in your working sets in your workouts. It works off of a subjective scale from 1 to 10 on how hard that set actually is supposed to be, and I'm gonna show you guys the full RPE scale right now on screen. So RPE 0 is complete rest, RPE 10 is a total max effort. Looking at this scale, the vast majority of your working sets should be between RPE 5 and RPE 8, depending on where you are at in your training block. Now, to really understand the RPE, you really have to understand that it's a much more subjective way to actually ensure the right intensity in workouts, since the word perceived exertion is absolutely key here. Unlike percentages, which are a lot more objective, RPE is a much more subjective way to actually ensure the right intensity, giving you the biggest pros and cons of RPE. So the biggest pro of RPE is that it actually takes into account how you feel that day, but that's also the biggest con of RPE, since a lot of the time how weight subjectively feels is not a very good objective way to actually measure how weight feels. Give you guys an example, like I think about a year ago I did a 120 squat. I'll show you guys that on the screen right now, which actually felt very heavy but moved just like nothing. And so I did 130 a couple of minutes after that, and it actually moved very quickly, ending up in a new 1 rep max for me on the exercise. So that's one example that like weight might feel heavy but might not look very heavy when you look at yourself from a different angle. In the second part of this video, I'm going to talk about how RPE actually works and how to use that in your own training program. And there are two main ways to actually do this. The first way is to use RPE to select all of your working weights, and this essentially works in a very similar way to how you would use percentages. So just like in any training program, intensity will go up. So let's say, for example, every week is a 3x3. Week 1 will be a 3x3 on RPE 6, so a very easy 3x3. Week 2 will be an RPE 8 3x3, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult. And then week 3 is going to be an RPE 10, so an all-out 3x3 to finish off the training block. And like you guys see in this example, intensity will gradually increase over time. In this example, I'm not giving any kind of weights, I'm just giving you guys a rep and a set and an RPE, and I'm simply allowing you to choose your own working weights. And this is how programs that only use RPE essentially work. Other programs will let you do a set at a certain weight but make you stop once you reach a certain RPE. So let's say, for example, week 1 working set with about 60 kilograms on your weighted dips, and I want you to stop at RPE 5. Week 2 you'll go all the way up towards an RPE 8, and week 3 will be an AMRAP going for RPE 10 with once again 60 kilograms. Just like on the first few programs, intensity will increase as you go through this training block. Now, another way to use RPE in your programs is to use a much more objective way to calculate your working weights for your working sets, but use RPE to allow yourself to make subtle changes based on how you feel that day. So let's say, for example, I'm doing the juggernaut method, doing my sets of 5. So week 1 is going to be a 5x5 at 70%. Should always be easy. Week 2 is going to be a 3x5 at 77.5%. No, yeah, I'm right. Now, if for example on that specific day I didn't sleep well last night, I didn't eat enough last night, and had a very long and very tiring day at work, the weights might feel a lot heavier and I might not be able to completely finish the 3x5 with my 77.5%, whatever weight that turns out to be. In that case, after set 1 and I know like this is not going the way I want it to go, I might actually lower the working weight for those sets based on the fact that I'm not feeling that well in that particular day. So that is essentially how I will do it and how a lot of people will do it. Once again, we will calculate using more objective ways to calculate working weights. We will kind of use RPE to make little changes based on how we feel that day, and that might happen across a training program maybe a couple of times, because like I talked about, we use very objective ways to calculate working weights to form our foundation of the program. And now I'm actually going to finish off this video with some last advice regarding RPE. So essentially, should you or should you not use it depending on how experienced you currently are. Now, as you become more experienced, regulating intensity in workouts becomes absolutely key if you want to continuously make progress. However, RPE only becomes valuable as the person that's using it becomes better at gauging how weights feel. Because of that reason, I believe that beginners should go nowhere near using RPEs, since they simply lack the experience to correctly gauge how weight feels, and they really should not make training decisions based on RPE data. Also, individuals that tend to skip out on hard work when they have to show up and do the hard work should go nowhere near using RPE to select their working weights for the day. So beginners and those kind of individuals should really be using different types of methods to select working weights and should be on much stricter programs. But if you are someone that has a lot of training experience and you actually know what a maximal effort feels like, that's someone that could actually use RPE very successfully, and using RPE will be a massive bonus added to your training programs. And then also some last general advice, I would definitely recommend you guys to stay away from programs that use strictly RPE. I would personally advise you guys to use more objective ways to determine training weights to form the foundation of your programs, but once again, you can still use RPE to make subtle changes on the day itself, depending on how the weights feel and depending on how that workout feels, to still make sure that your workouts or that your training program is flowing the right way. And with that being said, that is essentially all I want to talk about in today's video. So let's wrap this up. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe if you guys haven't already, and share the video. Any more questions, leave it down below in the comment section. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching, and latest.